you looking for Taylor Swift, REO Speedwagon, OKaye, Elton John? Well, guess what? It ain't gonna happen on this station. CincyUnderground.com. Yeah. Okay, let's be Frank. Okay, this is Frank. Right.
Oh, dude is a character, for sure.
Hey guys, thank you for listening to another edition of the OKaye Let's Be Frank show. I'm Kay, this is Frank.
Hey!
Hey, you're listening to CincyUnderground.com, the only station that is live, local, and lit. We are in the building today. Man, what's going on, Miss Kay?
I think you got a defective chair there.
Something's going on. It was up and it's down.
Shrinking down.
Going down in an earlier round. The chair was going down swinging. Anyway.
Yeah.
Stuff's crazy. Super crazy. Anywho. So how's your week been, Miss Kay, since we last talked?
Oh, my week's been pretty good, I think. You come to church on Sunday. That was pretty cool. I liked that.
Went and checked out the old Nazarene deal.
Yeah.
Out in Maysville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. We had women's group last night, of course, and that was pretty good.
It was pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but wasn't there for that one.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Pretty good. What about you?
Well, heck yeah.
What's new
Let me
with
see.
you?
Since last Wednesday, nothing's really changed, I don't guess. I haven't really done too much. We have our new show on Monday. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I got a lot of positive feedback from that one. 13:20 a.m. WCVG, AM The Voice. 13:20 a.m. WCVG The Voice.
That's it.
Mondays 11 to 12. Check us out. This will be the last time that we're on from 2 to 3. We are moving from 1 to 2:30, so we actually get to gain a half hour, but we are changing, so that's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting, and it gives us an extra half hour, like you said, so that kind of gives us more talk time.
More talk time.
I don't know if people need us to have more talk time, but it gives us more talk time.
Hey, everybody loves it. Everybody love me. Everybody love me.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, let me think. Friday, nothing really happened. Saturday, nothing really happened. My kid got his own cell phone. That was super cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Super excited about that. He's sending me pictures all the time, and that's it's exciting.
That's exciting.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, he sent me a picture of his uniform. He goes to Catholic school now, Catholic middle school. So they got to wear a uniform or whatever. He sent me a picture of that. It's not the traditional, like I thought, it was going to be like khaki pants and a tie and a jacket and all that much stuff, but it's a polo shirt and some shorts. So it's pretty cool, I guess. I hope they gave him some pants to wear.
Yeah.
Apparently it's supposed to get super cold.
So, yeah, that's what it's supposed to. Heard snow flurries this weekend, and then maybe measurable, that's the word I'm looking for, measurable snow next week. I'm like, well, hello, November. Hello!
November. So we went from, I guess we sort of had a fall. It was cold at first, and then it warmed up a little bit. What in the world is the What is going on? Oh, feedback. Gotcha. All right, so so yeah, it started getting warm, or it was cold, and then it started getting warm, and then it's been pretty nice lately. Halloween wasn't bad. I think it rained a little bit, but it wasn't like super cold and miserable.
I was gonna say, what did I do Halloween? I remember now.
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing at all. Same thing I did. Well, I went to
right, like we went and ate, and then I dropped you off at church and went home. So
Yeah.
like,
Where did we eat? What did we eat?
I don't know, what did we eat? Mexican food maybe?
No, that was the Chinese buffet, wasn't it?
I don't know, Frank. I think we go eat too much together when we can't keep
First
track.
off, we never eat too much, ever. That's your first mistake.
Okay.
We never eat too much. But yeah, I think that was the day we went and ate the Chinese buffet, and then
yeah, I bet it was. You're right.
yeah, and then I went to church.
And then
And,
you went to church, yeah.
that was fun. Yeah, because that was the day I had the debate on the Halloween with the guy at church, which was, I mean, we talked about this on the other radio station. Like, it's not a bad thing that he feels the way that he feels. But my whole point was just to take the opportunity to get the word out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything is how we make it. So, if you want to focus on negative, that it's going to be a negative thing. If you want to you can turn anything into a positive.
True.
People used to get so mad. I read a thing. It was a thing one time, and it was this guy. And he was just kind of like praying to God and asking him why so many bad things had happened in his day. He woke up, the alarm didn't go off, so he woke up late. And then traffic was bad, so he got to work late. And all this bunch of stuff had happened in his day, and as he's praying, it's got a picture of him praying, and Jesus is kind of over his back or whatever. And he's like, well, I didn't let your alarm go off because there was like a drunk driver out on the road or something. So I want to make sure you were safe. And then all the traffic, something else was going to happen that I had to save you from. And even though, we can use, thanks, Holly. We can use anything in a positive light, no matter how bad it seems to us, if we truly try to understand the purpose and the will, and that nothing is, well, not nothing, but if we understand the bigger picture, you know what I mean? Like, if we understand that God's behind us, then everything is for our good. You know what I mean? What do the songs and scriptures say? He turns everything for our good.
Right.
So we always got to take a step back and just kind of be like, I shouldn't be so mad. I shouldn't be so hasty. I shouldn't, like, God, this is your will, man. Whatever you want. It's your world. I'm just living in it. Type deal.
You're true. That's true. It's just not quite that easy to be that chill all the time.
Oh, no, it's definitely not. Like, I was about to throw this mouse out the window just a minute ago. I was sitting there trying to mess with it, and this thing just kept boo, 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 boo. And about the third boo-boo, I wanted to boo-boo that thing out the boo-boo window. Daggone, that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So, no, I understand. Trust me, I understand. It's not always easy to be chill and see everything in a positive light. But it happens. That's what we're supposed to do anyway. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly. How you doing? Again, like we always like to start out a program by thanking you guys, thanking everybody who's watching and listening. Thank you for your support and wonderful. You watch and you listen and you give feedback, and we just really we appreciate it beyond belief. We were talking earlier this week about how things have happened just in the past 4 to 6 months in our lives, as far as getting these shows and being able to be on here, be in front of you and talk about, real life things and then godly things and what God's doing in our lives. And we really appreciate your support and feedback.
Right. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I feel like I'm sitting on the floor.
I know. It keeps on falling.
It keeps falling. So. I keep on falling. Yeah. Anyway. That's so crazy. taking care of that friend of yours. Yeah, we'll take care of Mitri. My boy Chris Mitri back home. He had a birthday not too long ago, so they had a little shindig and stuff like that. Happy birthday to Mitri.
Yeah, happy birthday.
That's pretty cool.
Happy birthday.
I want to give say prayer warriors if you're watching. Miss Holly Serp, she watches and gives us support. Her daughter, I think, they had some issues with. She's a diabetic or whatever. And she has they have to watch her sugar. You know what I mean? And she's got like this little device and stuff that they have to monitor. And I don't know if she's going through some things or whatever. Like maybe she's coming down with a cold or something that's affecting her stuff. So prayer warriors, just throw out a quick prayer for them and that family. Brother Aquarius pays attention, watches us sometimes. He's preaching on Friday. He's got a big test coming up. Him and Holly's husband, they're doing some things to try to build God's kingdom. And my buddy Taiwan, he's going to speak at Old Dominion this afternoon, and he's not really what you would call a public speaker, but he's in love with the Lord, man, and we just pray that his God gives him the words and uses him as a vessel for those student athletes. So keep them in your prayers. My buddy Paul, he's taking a couple of tests. All things given. He will be an electrician, a full-fledged electrician, graduate of electrician school. I don't know what the process is, but he's gonna graduate December 13th. So all these prayers, we ask that you pray, think about it. We really would appreciate it. For sure. Thank you, Holly. Holly sending us prayers. What she say? Prayers for both of you as well, because you will be tested by the enemy for spreading God's word. Yeah, True that. Sure. Again, I try not to focus on the negative. Neither of us do, but it's a reality that when you start doing good things and trying to be a disciple of God, learning what that means and getting into that or whatever, the enemy's going to try to find some way to stifle that. So we appreciate prayers and support on that again.
Absolutely.
So
I forget my mother-in-law is going into angio heart cath angiogram on Friday. So we'll see how that turns out.
See how that goes. She's getting a new heart. Was it the 10 man?
Let's hope she's not having to get a new heart. No.
So what is that? What is an angio?
So what they do is they go in with the camera and they go in and look to see if you have blood clots in your heart. And then, of course, if there is blood clots, then they'll put the stents in, and so that way it can flow. She had a echocardiogram done, and it didn't beat right. And so then they did a different test, and it come up inconclusive. So now they're going in to do the angiogram, so what they do is they go in your groin through your main vein in your groin and stick this camera all the way up into your heart. And shut up. Shut up.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And look for blood clots. And then if they found the blood clot, then they put the stents in, and then that way the clots can go through, and then we'll see or see how bad it is.
See how far they're growing.
Oh, I knew you
were
coming up with something. I knew you were.
Sorry. Anyway, so yeah. So they're looking. They're looking for stuff.
Yeah.
And if there's something there, then
they'll fix it. Right.
Mm-hmm. So there's nothing really. I mean,
maybe. I mean, but there's no way of knowing.
Well, what made them want to be like, we want to go in here and see, we want to go in here and take a picture, or we want to.
The angiogram thing, not that, but the other thing that she had done last week.
The thing before the thing.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's where they put the heart monitor thing on, and do the heart waves, and I don't remember what it's called, but they're called now. I just said it while ago, like 2 minutes, and it really just went out the door that's shut. Or maybe it's flying around in here and I just can't catch it. I don't know.
Well, I forgot because this conversation has been growing.
You just
It started.
EKG, the
The
EKG.
EKG,
Thank
okay.
you, Ken. Thank you for that.
Love it.
The EKG was abnormal.
Gotcha.
So
they
then
wanna
they
go
went and did an echocardiogram, and the echocardiogram come back inconclusive. So now, which is 2 different tests, now they're going to do the 3rd test, which is to go up, send the camera up, look for pictures, and then if there's something there, then they'll fix it. Unless it's something way worse, then let's hope it's not. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right. So, prayers to mom-in-law. Hope that works out okay. Hope that there's nothing that. Hopefully, they just get to look around and see what's going on, and there's nothing growing. Yeah. Nothing bad growing in there. I'm sorry.
You are a mess. I swear,
Hilarious.
you're a mess. And obviously have never been into the hospital for anything serious. No, I'm kidding.
I really haven't.
Like, because you don't know anything about any kind of medical procedure.
Well, no, I do. I know about the EKG because at one point I was drinking energy drinks, like 3 or 4 a day. You know what I mean? And
He was like,
smoking cigarettes and just eating. It's server life. You eat on the go and you don't eat healthy and all this bunch of stuff. So my lifestyle just was stupid. And so this is years ago. Anyway, I was drinking the energy drink. I felt crazy, felt weird. So I laid down, and next thing I know, I wake up and I'm in the hospital. Apparently, like I had blacked out or something. They put me on the EKG machine. I didn't have good insurance, so they just gave me this little thing and sent me home and said, "Come back home, read it." It's so funny. Like, I don't think people even realize that that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have good insurance and stuff.
Ken said you're not growing, you're shrinking.
True. The conversation was growing. We were talking about the growing. But anyway. But no, it's totally a thing that if you don't really have good insurance or whatever, they're kind of just not as, about it, whatever. But I remember my father went through and had to do the stress test and all this bunch of stuff. And like Daddy had, Red Cross, Blue Cross Blue Shield, whatever. Hey, Anthem, good stuff, good insurance. So, we want to keep him overnight for observation and all this bunch of stuff. Well, I go in, you know what I mean? Like, I had to be brought in, totally like unconscious, I guess, or whatever. And I wake up and they're like, "We're going to put this thing on you, go home and do whatever, come back and we'll read it." And I was like, okay, what happens tonight? Like, I was scared. Like, I don't know. I'm like scared, and they didn't care, but whatever. I went back and the results were, I had to go see this cardiologist guy, and he, basically, like, I had palpitations and whatever it's called. And he said, basically, it was a result of my lifestyle. So, that's no more energy drinks.
No more energy drinks for Frank.
Nah, none of that 4 a day anyway. Craziness. Like, that was kind of silly. But anyway, everything in moderation, people. So, I do know a little bit medical terms, Anywho, so we got some things coming up. We're gonna talk about this election deal going on and what happened yesterday, and I don't think that much has really changed. Apparently, there was huge turnout with the election and people going out to vote, which is cool, and it's cool that more people get involved. I think the more that we talk about it, it's not about a red team or a blue team. I've coined this phrase called the purple perspective, where if we unite and unify, forget the red or blue, it's one or the other. No, it should be both, and America was founded under united we stand, divided we fall. Right. But we'll get more into that. the weather's been nice. We've been talking about the weather. Just a few things. We had I don't know if you've been paying attention, we've been talking about a concert that a buddy of mine and I were putting on. Some things have changed in that. So here in a minute, we're going to go to some commercials, and we're going to come back and chit-chat a little bit and get real raw and relevant. Again, we want to reach out and just say thank you. Thank you to everyone.
Everyone, right.
Prayers, thoughts, all that good stuff. It's pretty awesome. It's overwhelming sometimes when we go back and look on Facebook and people are like, hey man, we thought this, or we like this, or you guys are dumb, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's really cool to see the outpouring of love or lack thereof, whatever. Just the fact that people care and people watch. But give us a few. We're gonna hit these commercials. You are listening to CincyUnderground.com, the only station that is live, local, and lit. Okay.
Let's be frank.
That's right.
Yeah. I wish they would put another microphone stand.
You want to hold it?
Really? No, I'm just tired of holding it. I
Is
just
it
want to
metal?
lay it down.
Well, if it's metal, use the other thing, see if the thing will stick to it.
Oh, it's not.
Crazy. Anyway, Facebook folks, thank you guys, man. Y'all don't even understand. Y'all really don't understand what it means to us, man. We really appreciate it. Give us some feedback about some things you want to talk about, you want to hear about. We kind of, I know we do talk a lot, but we like to stay real raw and relevant. So
It don't work.
it ain't gonna work.
No working.
Your future in broadcasting starts here.
No working.
No working.
CincyUnderground.com. If you know anything about me, you know I keep my ears to the streets, right? I'm always looking for
Jeffrey Wilson says we have to stay united as a country. Something has to change. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Exactly.
Dude is watching.
Zachary Wilson. Well, thank you, man. Thank you, man. We're going to talk a little bit about that here in just a few. I appreciate you, man. Keep throwing those comments up for us, for sure.
How's it always hot in here?
I don't know. Jay Payne, happy birthday.
Let me go get you another chair while we got a minute.
We got a minute.
A brand custom clothing to fit their style through all seasons,
Ugh.
events, and occasions.
This is going to work.
Grind style to place your custom hands down apparel today.
Let's slide it over.
That's grind style.
Make that easy. All right, there we go.
Be the best.
There we go.
Hey there, Ayama here, your favorite radio.
Ayama Miller.
Cincy Underground.
Hey, y'all watching, man. If you get a chance, check out Ayana Miller, man. She's on Facebook, Instagram, all that. Baldy Babe, the founder of the Cincinnati Baldy Babes, man. Check that stuff out. Pretty cool stuff.
Hey, that's better. I got a cool chair now.
She got a cool chair.
It's cool.
Is it not hot?
Right.
Hey, Brandy. Haven't seen you in a while. Chess game? Yeah, chess game going on. Oh, dun 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 dun.
Now back to OKaye.
Okay, let's be. Hey, y'all, welcome back to OKaye, Let's Be Frank. I'm Kay, this is Frank.
Hey.
Oh, man, she's right.
Oh.
Somebody in here needs to get their stuff together.
You can tell when we have an off morning, like when it's not just going right. You can
Oh,
tell.
man.
Just come in
Super
here and
crazy.
be like, craziness.
Craziness. Anyway, so thank you for listening. CincyUnderground.com, the on station that's live, local, and lit. Thank you for paying attention, logging on to Facebook, all this fun stuff. We have been talking about the weather, which is pretty cool for now, but it's about to get cold. It's an Arctic breeze that's coming down from the north. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, I guess.
We may not see Frank again because he's
Listen,
a freezing
If
bot.
you guys don't know me, cannot stand the cold. I hate it. I don't hate many things. The cold is one thing I hate. I hate to be cold. Anyway.
Carry a blanket around.
Truth. I'll be all
Get
hugged
one of
up.
those. Go get you one of those that plug in. The little electric throw blankets, and you just carry it around with you and plug it in. And
I like the way you think. I do like the way you think. I might do that. Christmas is coming up, guys. Hey, just saying. I want a Spider-Man hoodie and an electric blanket.
An electric blanket. There you go.
Anyway, speaking of Christmas, so there's a big debate going on. And Holly, if you're still watching, I'm sorry I'm about to talk about you. I really, I'm a holiday guy. I love holidays. I love getting together and what the holidays really mean. I love getting into that stuff. But now, it's not Thanksgiving yet.
Not yet.
It just Halloween's over.
Right.
So the next holiday is
Thanksgiving. Right.
I just want to make sure because there seems to be a blurred line. It seems like we like to skip months, and somebody said something about Valentine's Day the other day. I'm like, what? Hey, wait a minute. But it trips me out because people like, my friend Miss Holly, she's already got her Christmas tree up, as a lot of people do. I think Frank Marzullo was on the news the other day talking about he put up his Christmas lights. Now his thing is like, I want to put them up while it's warm, and then I'll flip the switch after Thanksgiving.
Makes sense.
I can understand that. I can totally understand that. Some people have their presents out already and whatever, which I kind of get because, why not buy stuff in July when it's cheap? Amazon's running a Christmas in July sale. Why not go ahead and stock up? But to go ahead and put them under the tree.
No.
Anyway, my only complaint with being all Christmassy before Thanksgiving is when it comes to December 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd-ish, it's inevitable that people are like, oh man, I'm so sick of the holidays. Golly, I'm so tired of hearing Christmas music. Man, I just want this to be over with. Well, yeah, because we've been doing it for 12 months now. You know what I mean? Like, of course you're tired of it. Of course it's getting overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's so excited now. We want to rush and do it because we love it. But then you get tired of it. So why not? Why can't we just go and go in order and we take our kids out to trick or treat. We get together and cook a big meal and get with family and tell everybody what we're thankful for. Then we get to Christmas. You know what I mean? Why can't we do that? That's the only. Some people still haven't taken their lights down from last year. I'm just but hey, that's one way to do it. All you gotta do is flip the switch.
Right. Just flip the switch. It's so much easier too, because I don't know. I like to decorate in one aspect, and the other aspect is, man, really, you just put it all up just to have to take it all back down. Man.
Well, it used to be, and this is another thing. It used to be in my house at least. It used to be a thing that the family did together. That we would on a weekend. Mom, Dad would go up to the attic and pull everything out, and me and the brothers were helping him. We got the assembly line going from the attic downstairs. Mom's sitting there at the end of it, pulling everything out and separating everything where they need to go. And one of my, I remember, no shame. I remember, I was so when I first saw the tree, those fake trees because they get the little wire deals or whatever, and some are longer and then they get shorter or whatever. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, like, how do you know which ones go where,
Right.
But then Mom, pointed out, they got the little colored bands on them. And I was like, it's genius. Oh, okay. Somebody's got it together over there. But it was a family thing, my two brothers, they're 10 years older than I am. So they would be in charge of, you know, ladder stuff, you know what I mean, and like putting stuff up around the molding of the house or whatever, the crown molding and stuff, and banisters and all that. And I was a kid, you know, I'm a kid, so I'm helping mom and getting on her nerves and knocking stuff over and whatever, you know, being a kid. But it was about the camaraderie, like that was family time,
Right.
you know. That's one thing that I really do miss. And I've noticed, I don't know if it's just me, the past few years, I don't know if I'm just getting older or whatever, but the feeling of family and what it's really about, what these holidays are really about, like it's gone.
Yeah.
Or it's slowly diminishing. You know what I mean? I don't feel that way when I go out to eat, when I go to the stores or whatever. It's all about a hustle and bustle. It's all about, I got to get this for this person or blah, blah, blah. Like people are stressed, you know, in the movie, The Christmas Story, when they would go and find a tree, you know, back in the day, you actually had to go and actually cut down a tree, and everybody piled in the car together, and they picked out a tree together, and they tied it to the car, and they went, you know. Now it's just, it seems like all this stuff is so stressful.
Right.
Which, in that aspect, I guess I can understand getting things done early, like getting the tree out early or whatever, so you can kind of take your time and enjoy it maybe. But if you're doing it by yourself or just because you like it or whatever the case may be, I think that a lot of this, the family aspect of the holidays is missing now. And I don't know what to do to fix that. I don't know. Because a lot of families, you know, have to deal with.
The problem is the same problem that is with everything else in the world is they've taken the reason for Christmas away and put it into the numbers factor, the money factor, the worldly factor, and nobody has time to stop and be still and have family and do that as a family. I know when my mom passed away, the holidays for me changed and have changed ever since. But they are getting better now that we are steady and filled in the church that we go to. You know, they have Christmas programs that we get to go to, and it's about what it's supposed to be about. It's not about let's go spend all this money and whatever. It's about Jesus, you know, and to be able to, and the women's group has a Christmas party, and we have one every year, and that is so much fun. And so when you put the reason for the season back into the season,
right,
then you can enjoy it.
Well, and too, like people like Holly, they've got four kids, and all of them do something different. You know what I mean? And sports still go on, and they, you know, her husband, he's very busy with outreach and doing the things that he does. So he's always pulled in 10 different directions, and she's got to make sure everything's taken care of and all this bunch of stuff. So to go ahead and get it done, I guess I can understand that. But I mean, I think that there just has to be a time where we have to be like, listen, you know, like we've got to bring this back about the family. And I don't know other people's traditions. I know that, you know, I like to get the Bible out and read to the kids the story of Christmas on Christmas Day. I like to, you know, lead up to Christmas with the whole story and how, you know, Jesus was born, Mary and Joseph had to, you know, visited by angels and all some stuff. You know what I mean? And what it is really about, and bringing it home, that it's not about getting a present. It's not about really buying presents. It's not about the commercialization that everybody wants to make it about, you know. So somewhere, you know, we got to find a happy medium. I mean, life is life. You know, there's nothing you can really do about that. There are just some circumstances that you're not going to be able to help, you know. So I don't know. In some ways, I get it, but I don't want to hear anybody who has their tree up already complaining about Christmas the week leading up to Christmas, or even the week after. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You did it. You wanted it. Take it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be in the moment. All right. Don't be complaining about it.
Yeah.
That's super crazy. Anyway,
I've gotten to where I procrastinate, and it may be the week before Christmas when I put mine up, and then maybe Christmas Day is right back down.
Right.
So,
Well, that's the way Mom was. Like, we would do it, and we would do the whole family thing or whatever. And mind you, this is what I'm talking about is pre-cell phone, pre-social media,
Right.
pre-buy everything on Amazon.
Right.
Black Friday was a thing, but it wasn't as big as it is now. Times have changed in the last decade, let alone back when I'm talking about when I was a kid. Like, we're talking late 80s, early 90s. Like, people still enjoyed being around each other then.
Right.
Right. Like, now it's like, get out of my house.
right.
And I think another thing that kind of bugs me is that whenever you do sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, everybody's on a daggum phone.
Right.
People come in
Well, I think like for us, it's really hard. It's been really hard because the whole family is in Texas. So we're in Ohio, and it's very rare. Last year we got to go home for Christmas, and that was amazing. That was great. It really was great. And
Was it great?
It was great. Like, you don't understand. It was great. And I got to go watch the Dallas Cowboys lose for the first time ever in their field. So,
Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah, but no, it was great. There were so many reasons, but we were there together with the whole family. We got a 5-generation picture before Granny passed away in February. We were all together. Nobody was wanting to kill each other. It was amazing. And when you don't have that, it's hard to just be happy.
Well, no, I get it, because like when Granny and Frank passed, I mean, it was that was definitely the subject of it. They were kind of the reason, I mean, we would all go to their house because they wanted, that older generation was kind of the glue for everybody's family for those times,
Oh, yeah.
Even if you only saw cousins and
Who
uncles or
started the
whatever
tradition? We had,
once a year, it was because of them. We're going to Granny's house, And I remember one year when Clint first got his hey Mac, thank you guys for watching, man. It's awesome. Clint first got his license, and we were driving from Elizabethtown to Owensboro, and there's a little 30-minute stretch there from Litchfield to the turnoff to get on the Bluegrass Parkway, and we hit an ice patch or whatever, and we spun around, and it just so happened we did like a 180 and we were in the shoulder of the road facing the other way, and we were maybe 5 minutes from sometimes we were maybe 5 minutes from the turnoff. So Mom was like, she started, of course, like, well, Mom's a little dramatic. I'm glad she doesn't listen to this. But she was like, that's the direction we should be going right now. We shouldn't even blah, blah, blah. And me and my brother are a lot alike. And he's like, listen, we're 5 minutes from the turnoff. I'm sure they've salted that really well, blah, blah, blah. But I'll just say that to say that whatever it took to get to Granny's house,
that's what you did.
that's what we did for
Right.
Christmas. You know what I mean? And through the years, we've lost grandparents, and I don't mean to bring up any of that negative stuff, but I think with that generation not being so prominent anymore, we've lost a lot of those traditions of togetherness.
Right.
Even though whenever you left Granny's house, maybe, oh, I remember why I didn't like my uncle, or man, I knew I don't like my cousin anymore, or all this bunch of stuff. Maybe that's the case when you leave. But you still went the next year, you know what I mean?
Still went the next year, right?
And maybe you didn't appreciate it as much, having that family and that camaraderie. Maybe you didn't appreciate it as much leaving as you did. You still look forward to the next year, you know what I mean? Like after Halloween, you start thinking about, man, I wonder what they've been up to this past year. I wonder, you know what I mean? Because again, back then you didn't have the cell phones, you didn't have Facebooks, you didn't have
Right.
Instagrams,
You didn't
and
have
Twitters.
instant contact with everybody all the time.
So I don't know if there's some way to get back to that. That would be super cool. I think that that's one thing that we need to get back to is the unity thing, you know. And as we talk about this purple perspective that I have in mind coming up here in the next few, we try to remember unity, and I think that that's what it's all about. Instead of trying to find ways to be divided, instead of thinking about division and what we have that's not in common, we need to find ways where what we do have in common. And I promise, the more we think about it, I guarantee there's more that we have in common than we don't have.
Right.
But that just takes you getting off your phone and actually using your noggin again and thinking about some things, thinking about yourself. Do some self-inventory and remember where you come from, who you are, and whose you are. These things are just, we've gotten away from it, you know. And I mean, I'm not to sit here to say that I got it going on, but I have been doing some soul searching here lately, and a lot of things that I have forgotten about who I am, they come to the forefront once you really get into dive deep back into your mind. Anyway, we're going to hit some commercials here for just a second. We'll be right back. Cincy Underground, the only station that is live, local, and lit.
Ohio Media School.
I gotta go in like 5 minutes.
Huh?
I gotta go in like 5 minutes.
Stupid.
But sorry, ain't helping.
Thank you guys for watching, man. Y'all are pretty awesome. Woo-woo. The thrill is gone.
Yeah.
The thrill is gone.
Right here on campus. What's Cincy Underground? An online radio station with listeners worldwide. And around Cincytown, a television show. Both based right here on Ohio Media School's campus. Join us today by logging on to www.beyonair.com or give us a call at 513-271-6060. That's 513-271-6060. Better yet, stop by Ohio Media School.
I've become a Scrooge and I hate it. Really, I hate it. If it wasn't for Dulcet, I wouldn't do anything. Truthful.
Really?
Truthful. No tree, no nothing. None of it.
Jake? White chocolate right there. I don't know if he's still watching, I don't know if he remembers that. That was the whole. Yeah. We worked at McDonald's together, man. That kid, that was Owensboro had the first McDiner. I don't know if it was the first McDiner, but it was a McDiner. Can you imagine McDonald's serving meatloaf? And green beans.
No.
And I think there was a steak on the menu. Like,
Really?
yeah, you sat down at you sit down at your table and you pull out your menu or whatever, and it's got like a little red phone, right? And so you call in your order, and the dude's up at the thing, typing in the order or whatever, and they bring it to your table, but you don't have to tip or whatever. You see how far that went? That was crazy. Jake and I, man, we had a good time.
And you worked there? How old were you?
Oh, Lord. I had
Like
hair.
10?
I had hair.
I don't know how long it's been since you've not had hair, so you know.
Ian was born. I tried to grow my fro out when Ian was born, and it was like a bowl shape, like it was like concave. It was weird. It was really weird looking. I don't know. It was fun. Good time. But that was the last time for sure. That was it.
Now back to OKaye. Let's be frank.
Okay, let's be frank. Awesome. Thank you for staying with us. You're listening to the OKaye Let's Be Frank show here on CincyUnderground.com, the only station that is live, local, and lit. And we're going to have to cut it short here today. We got to go pick up our kid, Dalton, at school. But next week we will be on from 1 to 2:30, so you'll get a full show plus
30.
Plus an extra half hour. So we get to kind of catch up for the last 2 weeks. We had to close early. But anyway, we do appreciate everything that you guys have done again for helping us out and staying for supporting us and all that. I do want to touch on something so we can stay real raw and relevant. yesterday was the election, and apparently the U.S. House is still controlled by the blue team, and the Senate is still controlled by the red team. Thousands of people got out and voted, record numbers last week or yesterday. I think that's super cool. People got out and actually voiced their opinion instead of just sitting behind Facebook and talking about it and yelling at other people for how they believe. Listen, everybody has an opinion. Have your
Everybody
opinion.
has their right.
Have your opinion, man. Don't be mad at somebody else because of their opinion.
Right.
It is what it is. They're allowed to do that. You're
Right.
allowed to have your opinion. Don't be mad at somebody. You can voice yours. Let them voice theirs.
Right.
You know, it's not at this point. I don't think it's a right or wrong thing, which is why I come up with the purple perspective. The purple perspective brings unity,
Right.
and I think that if we really got down to it and understood that the person sitting next to you may have a different idea on one aspect, you have a different idea on a different aspect, there are more things that we have in common and that we can get done if we unify our efforts.
Correct.
So the red plus blue equals purple.
Purple.
Not only that, purple is the color of divinity. It's the color of royalty. We're gonna get into that a lot in the next few weeks, and what exactly that means. It's way more than just politics. It's a way of thinking. It's educating yourself on what your passion is and not pushing your idea on somebody else. Just basically educating yourself on your idea.
Right.
If you have an idea, educate yourself on it. Don't just go off what somebody says or especially what TV says. Do some research, think about it. And I think the more that people read and educate themselves, they're really going to understand that we are more unified than we think.
Yeah.
Anyway, that being said, Miss Kate, you got anything to take us out of here with?
Thank y'all again for watching and being there for us to blab our opinions too. So we appreciate it. We do. Our prayers go out to each and every one of you, and to you and for you, and I don't know, just humbly grateful for what we've got going on. So
For sure. I posted something today. Just because someone doesn't agree with you or whatever, doesn't mean that your purpose isn't needed by someone. So remember that you are needed. Your purpose is needed by someone. Stay in your lane and do the speed limit. Is what I posted. So you can look us up we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all over the place. Check us out.
next week we should be able to be going live on YouTube as well.
Live on YouTube next week. We'll see how that goes. But again, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. CincyUnderground.com, the only station that is live, local, and lit. Next week, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Tune in.
Don't forget, 1 o'clock.
Jack, well, guess what? It ain't gonna happen on this station.
It's gonna happen on this station.
CincyUnderground.com.
All right. You put all this stuff up.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
That praise charts thing, you didn't pay for that, did you? So you just looked up praise charts? And
I looked up the song that you asked, and then it was like 4th or 5th down, and it said PDF.
All right. Okay,
See?
pronounce some knowledge.
Right there.
Where's that? Right there. Is it wrong? I'm sorry. This shit was hilarious.
You're killing me, man. I ain't even kidding. Hi, y'all.
Oh,
This
snap.
guy
Hey,
gets
man,
on my
hey.
nerves. He really does get on my nerves. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all think we're wonderful.